For the Port Huron Big Red so far this season, it has been anything but big thus far and anything but red. However, as they know, that can all change tonight. For the Port Huron Northern Huskies, on the other hand, more success, more to smile about coming in, but if you can't win the Battle of Port Huron, throw it all out the window. This is why you play football. This is why fans pack in this place to watch football. When you talk Port Huron City football, simply put, this is the game. Hello again, everyone. This is PHHS Channel 6, your home of high school boys football action. A sellout crowd expected tonight, Memorial Stadium, and right in the heat of it is myself, Derek Wark, the Big D, and the Hyde man, Tom Hyde. Great game expected coming up, Tom. Big Reds, though, I gotta think against it.
Well, you know, Big D, this game is all about bragging rights for Port Huron. You got a capacity crowd. This is the game. They work with each other. They screw around with each other in the summer. This is a game. This is all about bragging rights, Big D, for the city of Port Huron.
And that's exactly what they intend to, have after this one, if should they be victorious, the Big Reds are, or the Huskies. Big celebrations, I would think, the after-game parties.
Well, this is a big game for both teams, Big D. Nothing more can be said. All we got to do is kick the ball off here and start clashing heads. This is going to be a good one.
So we're about ready to go here. The Battle of Port Huron almost underway. As we mentioned, a good crowd on hand both sides of the field. And number 10, Jeff Miles, is going to kick this one off. Any keys to the game? I think mainly the aggressive Big Red defense to be just, for starters. I've got to penetrate that big offensive line for the Huskies.
Yeah, well, the defense of the Big Reds, that's the key. They're going to have to create some turnovers. They're going to have to get their offense into a scoring position because the Port Huron High offense really hasn't proven all year that they can march down the field. The Port Huron defense gets them those turnovers. They've got a chance at this game.
So we're about ready to go. Back to return this one, Jeff Keith and number 36, Mike MacArthur. And we are underway, Memorial Stadium. The Battle of Port Huron begins. Taken right there by MacArthur at the 10. Avoids one tackle nicely, spreads to the outside, down right there at the 20, and a nice tackle right there. Number 41 for the Big Reds, Matt Prevost, who does it on offense, and right there to Tom, he does it on special teams.
The bad thing about a game like this, Big D, both teams are on high emotions right now. A mistake early on in the game can cost you. So I think the team who settles down first is going to be more productive in this first quarter.
So the Port Huron Northern Huskies start their first drive from the 20, first and 10 from there. Nate Hawley, quarterback. They're going with 5 wide here, folks. Passing play to start things off. Great pressure, and he's sacked. Number 80 right there, Josh Wager, got him there for the Big Reds. And they have the football.
Oh, that's, like I said, Big D, the first team out on these plays, the emotion's running high. A mistake can be important. I talked about it right in the beginning of the game. A defensive turnover for the Port Huron High. Their offense has got great field position. This is a huge chance to take a little bit of the wind out of the sails of the Port Huron Northern Huskies.
And this is huge, just 10 seconds into this one. I said that's one of the keys here, off air talking to you before this game started, that turnovers, the one thing that can keep the Big Reds in this should it get to a point where maybe they're starting to lose hope.
Well, I think if there's a defense that can do it, it is the Big Reds.
Opening play of their drive from the 15, I believe, taken straight up the middle, not much there. I believe Troy Payer with the carry there, and not much. Well, what do you make about the Big Reds offensive line here? And we talked about it before this game. Northern likes the blitz. Can they pick that up?
Well, they're going to have to pick it up. If they want any success at all, they're going to have to figure out a way to how to take this ball down the field. The Duke right there, 99, he'll put a hit on you, and that's what they've got to stop that guy if they want their offense to move down this field.
Payer, I believe, on an off tackle there, around the right tackle for a gain of about 3. Brings up 3rd and 5. So 10.5 minutes to go here, opening quarter. No score, but a big turnover. Big Reds trying to capitalize on it. Pitch out to the outside of Payer this time, going around the end, brought down nicely there. The Duke came up late to make that play, and John Cordes got the original tackle.
I'll tell you what, Big D, even the hits are harder in a game, a city rival game like this. The Duke's been all over the place this first series. He's gotten like 3 out of the 4 tackles.
Listed as a 6'3", 205 senior. Only unfortunate thing about that is he won't be back next year.
But he'll be. I get the feeling he's going to be playing somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. So from the 20, where they're going to take this one. Field goal attempt. It's up, and he got it. Or did he? From this angle, he did not. Not enough foot on it.
We saw him earlier before the game practicing. That is well within his range. I think a little bit of jitters for the Big Reds kicker.
So a tough blow there, as Jeff Miles, just not enough leg. Got to capitalize on those turnovers too.
Well, now see that swing has become a Port Huron Husky momentum builder. They did turn over the ball, and they stopped them. They got the ball again. They just start over.
A run and shoot look. The back, Jeff Keith in motion. Going 5 wide, throw outside to Keith. Caught nicely down right there at the 33-yard line. And, oh, they're going to wave it off. Okay. What do you make of this very aggressive Northern Husky offense coming out with 5 wide early?
Well, when you're going against a defense that's as good as the Port Huron High defense, you really have to make a point early that you're the better team. And I think that's what the Huskies are trying to do.
More conventional pro set look now. The Huskies. 1 wide out each side, 2 back set. As Hawley shouts out the instructions here. 2nd and 10. Give to the outside to Keith. Trying to stretch out of bounds, pushed hard to the 25. Among tacklers there for the Big Reds, number 16, Jason Skilba. A name I'm sure we'll be hearing a little bit of as the game goes on.
Well, he's been a big part of the defense of Port Huron High. A guy that can really get there, really strings out the offense well, and can put a safety at the end of the play.
And what do you make about one of the keys I said before this game? The Big Reds have really got to mix up their plays offensively. And as you can see on that first little bit of downs there, it didn't happen.
Well, you're going to have to fool the Huskies. They're a very good trained team. They're a team that you're just not going to run down the throat of because they're going to stop you.
Hawley outside, pass intended for Jeff Keith, broken up nicely. Troy Payrick there, and they will have to punt. So the Big Reds hold nicely.
Well, we've seen it all year, Big D. The high defense has really held every team they've played for most of the game.
We'll see if it can last for most of this game as Matt Fowler back to return this one. Pretty good kick there in Crone. And Fowler at the 36. Down immediately, nice tackle, 43-yard line. By number 21, Jonathan Hastings.
There's another thing I look in this game to make a difference is the special teams. Both schools have had very good special teams in the games we've seen.
Is that a key coming into this one?
Well, I think so. I think the special team can break open a game with a run back or a turnover. We've already seen 1 turnover. I expect to see some interceptions and maybe a run back. They've got the talent on both sides of the ball here to do so.
Big Reds 1st and 10 from the 43. They run on the outside to Esters, and he got about 2, maybe 3. Nice tackle by Speak of the Devil, Duke Campbell right there on that one. Should mention number 19, Ian Johnson, also made that tackle for the Huskies. Brings up 2nd and 6 from the 47 of the Big Reds, where they have it. 1 wide out, a couple tight ends from the I formation. Again, they give to Esters straight up the middle. And about 2 or 3 more.
Again, Big D, they're hitting the holes fast, they're hitting the holes hard. If they've decided to do the running game, that's exactly what they're doing. If they can move the ball down the field, that's great. I think one of the problems Big Reds had this year is sometimes they won't go to the pass when I think they need to.
So it's about 3rd and 2. Looks like a long 2 to me. The gain to give to Esters again. A good gain there to the outside and a 1st down at the 44. Nothing fancy about that, Tom. Just good, solid up-the-middle running by Esters and the Big Red offensive line.
Well, the Big Reds do have the running backs to do so. They've got some big running backs with power and speed. They're just hoping to hit the hole again, and then to finally break one out.
We'll see if they can indeed break one out as we have our first tomahawk chop rendition being played here by the Big Red
Yes, we do.
band. Pitch out to Payark around the end, down hard at the 40. Ian Johnson once again the tackle for the Huskies. know, they're running it up the gut. They're running it around the outside. Definitely what we expected out of the Big Reds. We could say that.
Well, we've seen it all year where they've really done a good job at hitting the holes, getting the yardage that they need. They just have a problem, I think, within the 20 so far this year of actually popping it in when they're in the red zone.
Jacob Brown, Big Red quarterback, they give the payer straight at the middle, gain of about 5 more to the 35.
But I'll tell you, this really doesn't. This looks like a Big Red team that we maybe haven't seen before. They just seem to be playing with a little bit more enthusiasm than we've seen, and they're getting that couple extra yards they need each play. And the running game at this point for the Big Reds is working.
And credited to maybe that early turnover. That's possible, I think, to get there aggressive. Straight at the middle, they carry here. Not much. That's going to be very close to a first down, though. And I believe where that ref is marking the ball. Yes, sir. First down, Big Reds.
I think what that early turnover does for you, Big D, if you're the Big Reds, it tells you that, yeah, we can play against these guys. They're not some team that's just going to run all over us. And I think after, even though they did stop on their 4 plays, they've really put a drive here together so far, and they're proving it to themselves that they can play this Husky team.
First and 10 now from the 34-yard line. Jacob Brown to Payer. Gain of 2 to the outside. So that brings up second and it looks like 7. Checking in for the Big Reds once again, Benny Esters. I expect a big game out of guys like Esters for this series. This rivalry, I should say. And he got the carry and straight up the middle, pushed back about the 28, 29 maybe.
Well, they're just giving him the ball and letting him throw and letting him bang some head. He's the type of guy that doesn't mind taking a couple hits. I saw there on that play, he thought they blew the whistle a little early. He was still standing. His feet were still moving. He really thought he could maybe pop that out for a couple more. And I think with his abilities, he probably can.
So it looks to be about 3rd and 5 now for the Big Reds from the 29 by the looks of things. High formation, 1 wide out again. Jacob Brown give to Esters, trying to fight for yards. And did he lose the football?
I think he did.
I don't know what happened there, to tell you that, from our vantage point.
I saw him going to the pile with the ball, and then suddenly he was just standing there without it, so I'm not sure what happened to it.
Well, it is Big Red football nonetheless, so that's 4th down and 4 now from the 28-yard line. And they have their big play people in there, so looks to me like they're going to go for it here.
Well, I think you do go for it. 4th and 4, you've got good yardage so far all series. I agree with the call.
Jacob Brown to Payer to the outside, following the fullback. Nothing doing. Great tackle there, Jonathan Hastings for the Huskies, and they hold again. Shaking your head a little bit there, Tom.
Well, I just think that with 4 yards to go and outside play with the Husky defense, when you got number 99 out there for the Huskies, it's hard to string a play out. This guy's just all over the place.
That he is, as Nate Hawley brings his Huskies out once again. 2 back, 2 wide set. Met right there hard and brought down nicely. Number 33, Chuck Trask got the carry, but nothing doing there among tacklers. Number 41, Matt Prevost for the Big Reds.
Well, this Big Red defense is going to be tough to figure out for Northern. I've said it a couple times already this game. They've played well all year. This isn't going to be an easy game to score for the Huskies.
Especially in this game. It's not hard to get up for this game, obviously. Hawley back to pass to the outside, man. Beat him right there. Caught 47 out of bounds. Nicely done. That's number 82 on the reception. Jim Palmatier.
Boy, great effort there. Over the shoulder catch with the defender right on him. Great concentration.
Yeah, very good coverage, too. He just earned that one.
Yeah, that was just a great catch. There was nothing wrong with either side of the ball played there.
So 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Hawley, couple fake handoffs. Outside again, caught right there, down the 35-yard line. 45-yard line, actually. Nicely done. Close to a first down. Edward Gross.
5'7", 140 pounds, Chris Stevens is that receiver.
Yes.
shows a lot of guts to take a hit and go up there, get that ball as a receiver at 5'7". You're not the tallest guy.
Is it just me, Tom, or does that look like a very generous mark by the officials from what I see?
You know what? That could be very generous. That's right in front of us. And I think it looks to me like he's giving him almost a yard on his spot.
We have a timeout for a measurement here. And while we have this timeout for a measurement, I'd like to personally give my regards to the Wismer family over the loss of John Wismer. We owe him a lot. Obviously, we are from 91.3 WSGR, and he started that new facility there. And we are very sorry about his loss, and all the best to his family from Channel 6 to you. And John, thank you very much for the WSGR facility wherever you are. This is Memorial Stadium, folks. Welcome back. Again, when I say welcome back, I mean the big rivalry here, the Battle of Port Huron tonight. What you expected so far, Tom?
Yeah, so far it is. It's an emotion-filled game. Bragging rights are involved, so they're going to be playing hard-nosed football all game long.
2nd and 1 from the 44. Give to the outside and nothing doing. He'd be lucky to get back to the line. Great tackle originally, Josh Wager. A little bit of trash talking after that, I think, too.
It's we almost kind of expect that. Like I said earlier, these guys hang out with each other in the summer. They work together. Their mom and dads work together. A lot of these guys know each other.
3rd and 2, give to Chuck Trask, and he avoided one tackle and busted up for about 5 or 6. Nice 3rd down run to the 37, 1st down Huskies.
He made a couple of little subtle moves there. He got a couple extra yards just by keeping his feet moving.
1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. I believe that's Trask again, not much, straight up the middle. Roger Lefebvre among tacklers. And number 41, Matt Prevost, whose name we've already said a lot with another tackle.
We've actually said that a lot this year.
Right.
He's been a big part of his team.
2 wideouts near side. Holy fake handoff, roll out to pass to Keith to the outside. Push that bound 33. They really like to get Jeff Keith involved in this offense. I tell you, not just handoffs, pitch outs, but passes out in the flat. And he even lined up earlier today as a wideout.
Yeah. Well, we saw a few weeks back.
Holly passes outside and almost caught. That was a good effort, I'll tell you. Number 84 right there for the Huskies. Kevin Moore right there. Nice try.
I was saying we saw a few weeks back that the Port Huron High defense, if there is a vulnerability in them, it's a quick pass. It's a quick out. I think Northern knows that. They've scouted this team. So I think Port Huron High has to expect some quick pass outs, 5-yard plays at a time.
Okay, so 3rd down and 6 now from the 33. 2 wideouts each side, 2 back set for Hawley here. Quick drop back, Hawley going to throw that one up and overthrew intended receiver right there. Number 16, Scott Jamieson, that's incomplete. So the Big Reds, not as convincing, but hold again.
Well, I think you got to have a bend but not break philosophy sometimes when you're on defense. You're not going to be able to just go 4 and out all the time. You have to be ready to take a couple plays from the offense going down the field. But if you don't break, you don't break. And the object is on defense is to keep that goose egg on the board. And that's exactly what they've done.
So they will start now their drive from the 33-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10. And just under 3 minutes to play here, 1st quarter. We are scoreless. Beautiful night, too. Sun was hot early, but it's gone down now. And a few clouds in that sky, but relatively clear.
Well, it's supposed to dip it into cooler weather as the night comes on. So look to see that affect some of the players after halftime once they've sat down out of play for about a half hour. You could see that make a difference in a defense or an offense.
Well, we have this timeout, Tom. I'd like to remind our viewers tonight on WSGR 91.3 FM, the WSGR Sports Zone, every Saturday afternoon, 4 to 7 p.m. On the show, we stump the grub with our trivia, crown a geek of the week. We have a wrestling insider, and also a lot of fun. That's the Sports Zone every Saturday afternoon, 4 to 7. And then what follows that?
Well, then you can come visit us with Saturday Night Talkback with me, Dave, and Linda, our news lady. It's a call-in show. We can talk. We talk about just local issues in the area. Just have a lot of fun.
So that's every Saturday, your show 7 to 10.
7 to 10.
We're back to the game now. Jacob Brown, and that's going to likely be a false start on somebody here. What's wrong? Got some static. Yeah, I guess technical difficulties are apparent. But nonetheless, Jacob Brown, first and 10, 33. That was just a stoppage in play as they give to Payer to the outside once again. Nothing doing. Great tackle, number 5, Kevin Gleason, among others for the Huskies.
Pretty much untouched going in there.
So loss of 1 yard there. Second down, 11 from the 31. Looks to be more of a loss of 2. One back, 2 tight end set, and 2 wide. Jacob Brown to pass outside, batted down at the line. Nice job, Huskies.
I tell you what, it's a good thought, though, on the Port Huron High to pass that ball. The Husky defense was not expecting it. That was just a matter of someone getting their hand up and getting that ball knocked down. I'd like to see Port Huron High pass a lot more.
Looks to be Sam German, the one who batted that one down nicely. Looks like a big battle of the defenses. To tell you the truth, this is kind of what I expected. The aggressiveness. The thing is, can this hold the whole game?
Well, it's been hard to pass for Port Huron High's defense to. I mean, obviously it's hard to keep that goose egg up on the scoreboard. You can't ask a defense to hold all game long. You have to expect some points being scored. Both defenses are tough. I think it's going to come down to whether the Port Huron High offense can put some points on the board tonight.
I think maybe the concern here, I'm looking up the plate, or the actual time clock, my mistake, and 1 second ticked off. That doesn't seem right. That run there, because it was 2:58 a minute ago, it's 2:57 now. I mean, that run at least is 5 seconds, and the clock's not supposed to stop, is it?
Well, I think I haven't really been watching the time clock, but it's hard to say. Sometimes it can be a lack of communication to the scoreboard operator. You can't really say it's a home field advantage because it's really both home fields.
So, on that note, first and 10 now. Actually, the scoreboard remains to say first and 10. It will be second and 11 when the Big Reds get this in gear again and continue their drive. And I'm sure you did play at Marysville, Tom, so this question may be a little premature for you. But what is it like? What's the feeling around this area, when your team wins off the big Port Huron rivalry, from what you've heard?
Well, I mean,
and you just work right across the street, so I'm sure you hear a lot of this after the games.
This subject will come up for months and months and months. Who won this game? You go to Burger King, you go to McDonald's. I'll be getting all the plugs in. You talk about this game, and whoever wins it, at the end of the conversation, basically wins. If you're a boy or you're a fan of one of the teams that wins, you're always going to be the victor of that conversation during breakfast with your friends at work.
And it means a lot more this year, especially to the Big Reds, because it's been, 5 straight years now, I think the Huskies have beat them.
Yeah, it's the Northern has pretty well dominated the last few years.
Well, I guess with the clock error, and I was correct, they're just going to run it referee time left here, so this is going to be difficult for us. So I'm just going to have to play it by the field, play it by my eye, I guess, as Jacob Brown back to pass, sacked right there, fumble on the jump on right there, 18-yard line, and I'll tell you, as good as that play was for the Huskies, Big Red's very, very fortunate to get that ball back.
Boy, I tell you what, there was just yellow helmets everywhere in the backfield. I didn't see basically a lick of protection for the Port Huron High quarterback. If you've decided to pass and you're the Big Reds, you're going to have to come up with a little bit better protection than that.
Bill Kitchen jumped on that ball, by the way, we should mention, for the Big Reds. Here's the punt, pretty good one. MacArthur calls for the fair catch, but he dropped the ball. Big Reds have the football. Another key special teams error may just come back to haunt the Huskies. The Big Reds have the football back.
Well, I tell you what, Big D, we said it before. This game could easily come down to special teams. And I've said in the past that the Big Reds sometimes have had bad bounces come toward their team. This game, they've had nothing but good things happen to them. They really need to take advantage of this.
You're going to get those errors on the field. You know, the first half is the time to do them. Second half is, you know, you want to play as perfect as you can in the second half of football.
Right.
Jacob Brown give up the middle. Esters met right away, and a nice tackle at that by number 2 for the Huskies, Tim Ropish.
And, you know, in a game like this, you can actually feel the emotion even from up high above the field as we are.
Right.
The players are giving that little extra effort. This game could be won by either team.
So the clock still has not begun, so we're playing this to I again. Pass over the middle, caught right there, big yardage, tackle down the 36-yard line. Number 43, Sam German. Actually, that's Northern High School I'm reading here. Number 43, Tony Emig with that catch.
Well, what the Big Reds have done here, Big D, is with their running game, the opposing defense gets used to just rushing in. Once you can pop a pass out, your defense has no choice but to kind of be guessing whether it's a run or a pass. That's what happened there, and it leaves your receivers open.
And nice to see Big Reds passing a little more as they get the payer around the end, and that might be coming back for holding. As Payer tripped up there by number 78 for the Huskies, Dave Taggart, who I think was held as the referees. Taking a look here at what's going on. There you see the officials, or at least one of the officials. Indeed, it is holding on the Big Reds, so that's going to push them back 5 more.
The first real penalty this game, Big D, we've noticed in the past that, especially in high school football, penalties will kill you. This game's going fairly well. If the Big Reds want to win this game, they're going to have to stay penalty clean.
So as the first quarter ticks down, or in this case does not tick down, clock error still. Jacob Brown give to Esters, who just plain dives and barrels his way up to the 44. I tell you, he is absolutely a load, and a load brought him down. The Duke met him there.
Well, that's going to be a clash every time they hit. But I tell you what, here's a kid that when he gets the ball, he'll run a good 5-6 yards, and when he sees that there's someone coming, he puts his shoulder down and he tries to ball through you.
So second and by the looks of things, about 20 yards for the Big Reds here. Give to Esters again, trying to fight up to the 40, and they are so far from a first down here. They're maybe playing for field position. That's the thing on basically a running offense, Tom. A penalty let back can indeed kill you.
Yeah, well, if your offense revolves around 2 or 3 yard plays, if you get a 10-yard play, you better be able to pass because you've only got 3 plays now to go 20 yards or 15 yards.
Josh Wager checking in for Jermaine Miller, number 81. But that is the end of the first quarter. And the score after one quarter of play, the Battle of Port Huron here at Memorial Stadium. The Port Huron Big Reds nothing, and the Port Huron Northern High School Huskies nothing. You're watching CPHS Channel 6. We'll see you second quarter, folks. How long is that?
I can sometimes hear you, sometimes I can't. They're playing the Muppet Show.
My favorite show.
Oh, God, it's still on.
Okay, and welcome back to Memorial Stadium, CPHS Channel 6, your home of high school boys football action, where tonight the Big Reds and the Huskies, after one quarter of play, deadlock, dead even, no score. Tom, are you surprised by this going in?
Well, it's good to see the Huskies passing it's good to see the Big Reds starting to pass like they have. They're really keeping the Huskies back on their feet. A great play there by number 81 to actually get that ball knocked down after a misread or
Jermaine Miller.
a bobbled pass.
But it's good to see Big Reds starting to open it up a little bit, even if it's just little wee, outs over the middle or something.
Well, I think they need to. If they want to win this game, they're going to have to pass the ball. This is too good of a Husky team not to be able to play the whole field.
Dustin Thomas to kick this one to MacArthur, and they kick away from him, hoping to get a roll. Bounces and it's going to die there about the 20. So that's where the Huskies will get it. Very fortunate there, the Huskies. 2 critical turnovers early in this game.
Yeah, well, we've said it before. It's going to make the difference in this game eventually. A 0-0 game just isn't going to happen tonight. And I tell you what, if the Big Reds keep getting good bounces like they have, they've got a chance where I think many people didn't think they did tonight. And plus, with the way they're playing, this is a different Big Red team than we've seen.
Now we have a jump at the line again. That's going to be probably the Huskies, I would guess. Scoreboard still not showing the, first down, second down, third down.
Is the clock actually running now?
From what I see, the clock's running, but still some technical difficulties.
See, I'd have never caught that, Big D. That's why you're the play-by-play.
Yes. A very underrated job, I might add.
Oh, yeah.
That penalty was on the Big Reds. I guess they jumped, so that's first and 5 yards now. Fake to Keith. Give instead to Trask around the end. Gain of about 2 yards there at the 27.
Let me ask you this, Big D. Both teams seem to have two-way players. How much do you think that affects a team in the long run?
What's that?
Well, both teams have two-way players. Does that affect the team in the long run?
In a game like this, I think it's wise to just wait and see. It's an intense rivalry. Two-way definitely great athletes, though. We got to mention that.
Oh, sure.
Some of these guys, such as Prevost, really picking up the slack here in the early going. Who knows? In the early going, it's a definite plus.
Okay. I just see Lefevre out there, and he plays both ways, and it seems like,
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, it's how you pronounce it. I was...
The Big Reds have jumped again. Do you believe this?
Well, we talked earlier in the first half that one of the keys is for the Big Reds not to have the penalties that they've maybe gotten in previous games. As long as they keep their composure and keep their heads, it shouldn't affect you. They're still a good defense, and they can make up for the 5-yard penalty and mistakes.
Could it be Nate Hawley's quick snap counts?
Well, yeah, it could be. He's going to try to pull him off no matter what. Great catch.
Hawley outside. Beautiful job there. Great catch, number 16, Scott Jamieson. And we've said his name a few times. He made that catch early on, I think. And great job, Huskies, moving the ball again.
Well, the Huskies, on the other hand, when you've got a defense as good as a Big Reds D, you've got to be able to do what you just did. You have to call them off. You have to bark on one or two and try to get them off their balance because they're good enough to shut you down.
First and 10 from the 49. The Huskies operate from their own 49 here. 2 wide out, 2 back set again. It gives straight up to middle. Keith trips and falls after a gain of about 1, maybe 2, to the Big Red 49. So we haven't seen the big plays from Keith here in the early going. Big Red's doing a good job of containing him, you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's got to be one of the keys of their game going into this, is to shut down the individuals on the Huskies team that are going to be the game breakers.
So that brings up second down about 9 yards. They give to Keith this time, follow some blocks to the outside, get some good yardage. Brought down fumble. The Huskies jump on it, but that's above the line of scrimmage where they get it back. So very fortunate again. That could have been the third turnover, Tom. Playing a little careless here in the early going.
Well, I'm not sure it is careless. I think the Big Red D, I think, is just they know they have to make the opportunities for their team. They're trying to strip the ball. They're hitting a little bit harder. They're going to make this Husky offense pay for every inch they get on this field because they know they may have to produce points.
2 wideouts near side, 1 far side, and Polly just threw that one away. He did have good pass protection, though, to throw that one. Intended receiver there is number 36, Mike MacArthur. Also the running back on this team, or at least one of them. Both teams really do respect their running backs in this offense. Will, as I said, not only give them, handoffs, but also passes. Good athletes, both sides.
Well, I think so. It's the key to the Huskies offense, I think, right now, is the fact that they need to contain everything they can.
Big block. Blocked by the Big Reds, but the Huskies jump on it. So that's fortunate for them, but hey, good field position once again.
Boy, I tell you what, you want to look at a team that we haven't seen all year, Big D.
Right.
It's the Big Reds.
Actually, you know what, though, Tom? If there's one thing you can say about the Big Reds, should we bring it up? They've been blocking a lot of kicks this year.
Yeah, you're right. They have 2 last game.
Right.
Yeah, and boy, they're proving everything we've said. They're making us look like geniuses, Big D.
Right, right.
Their defense is gonna make the difference in this game. And right now, you got to give the Big Reds credit to really dominating this game defensively.
I think the Big Reds have come out here with the desire. They're not necessarily the more talented team here. I think the Huskies have come out flat, and you're seeing the true Big Red football team that we've waited to see the first, 5, 6 games.
Well, we knew they were a good team. We knew they had talent.
Right.
It's just they just couldn't seem to put it together. And I tell you what, it's come to this week, and these guys are putting it together as a whole, as a unit. And they are dominating this four-year Northern team thus far.
As we see Esther's up the middle for a short game. But it's no big secret, Tom. The Big Red team, they're going to rely on special teams, miscues, errors, strong defensive and run up the gut type football. It's hard-nosed football. It's no big secret. That's how they win, and they're doing a fine job doing that tonight.
They're the best I've seen them play out here.
Second down, 9. Give outside, not much, maybe 1 more yard. Number 16, Jason Skilble with the carry. So that'll make it 3rd and 9 with 8:49 left to go here. Second quarter of play, we have no score.
Now that you've mentioned that, that's got to be their 4th or 5th block kick of the year.
Right. Well, I think the game we had a couple weeks back, I think both the Skilble boys both had a blocked extra point. So we hear knocking. I don't know what's going on there. Skilble to the outside. Tries to break through the tackle. Can't to the 33. Nice tackle there, Nick Ernst for the Huskies.
Well, I think if we're looking for a key for the Big Reds to get right now, is they've got to find some hole in the offense or the defense of the Huskies and get their offensive team moving down the field. Their defense isn't the part of the team that's supposed to score the points.
All right, it's punt now. Punt time here for the Big Reds is number 47, Dustin Thomas, ready to punt it off. Number 5, Kevin Gleason to return it, but he's just going to let this one roll down to the 9. Basically a pooch kick try there, I think.
Well, yeah, we've seen him do that a couple times this year and really placed it well. He did it again. The Huskies have a long way to go, and against the Big Red defense like this, that's a really long way to go.
So the Huskies will start with the ball now, 1st and 10 from the 9. 7:40 to go here, first half of play. As I've been referring to it all day long, the Battle of Port Huron is what you thought it would be on the whole so far.
Well, not really, because I thought the Huskies may have more of an advantage with their offense, but the Big Reds defense has just come out hammering.
Till this play here, possibly. Nice job done. Nate Hawley in a rollout. Number 84, Kevin Moore, gets down to about the 35. Well enough for a first down. Check that. Looks like the 30. That rollout to me looks like it might be able to work all day the way they set that up.
Well, the short passes have really hurt the Big Reds all year. We saw a couple weeks ago, I believe, against Eisenhower. Is that the game I'm thinking
Yes.
of?
Where they got blown out. Yes.
Yeah, where the pop pass really hurt them. Of course, I'm still going to give credit to the Big Red defense this game to be able to shut it down. They've bent a couple times and didn't break. Right now, I expect them that they can do the world, and they won't break on this one either.
Well, we have a break in the action here, of course. Last time we mentioned to you folks listening out there and watching, I guess you could say, WSGR 91.3. We have a website for our shows, the Sports Zone and Saturday Night Talk Back.
That's right.
What is that website that I must applaud you for creating?
Well, with help from other people, it was created.
You give credit where credit's due, Tom.
I tried to. www.clik.to/WSGR. Remember to sign that guest book.
Right, and basically click .2/WSGR there. Hawley back to pass. Intended receiver there. Number 27 for the Huskies, Chris Stevens. Pretty close. Slightly overthrown by Hawley, but hey, the way the pass has been working, I think at this point you go for it.
Well, I tell you what, the way that Chris Stevens can catch that ball, we've seen him earlier in the game catch a couple tough ones. Yeah, you throw it out there, you let him go get it.
So the standard set here for the Huskies, 2 wideouts, 2 back set. Hawley again, outside, overthrows intended receiver there. Good coverage on my dad, Dustin Thomas, nicely done. It's number 84, the intended receiver, Kevin Moore, and just overthrew his hands, did Nate Hawley.
The Big Reds have had great coverage so far. They're really sticking close to this Husky offensive wide receivers, and they're going to have to because these guys are talented. They've caught a couple balls that were great catches. You do that too many times in a game, and it's going to go for 6 points.
So 3rd and 10, exactly. They got to get to the 40. Hawley, the quick snap counts. Give outside to Trask. They have daylight all day there to the 50 down the 44. Actually, 49. Mistakes, but I'm so impressed by that run. I tend to make mistakes. Nice job, Trask, to the outside. And Tom, my first question to you, why weren't the Big Reds over there?
I think they got fooled by great faking in the backfield by the Huskies, and then burned by a huge stutter step with that with the running back for the Huskies. Just fooled everybody. Got about another 6 yards off a great fake.
Hawley, quick step back, overthrows another receiver, Scott Jamieson. Hawley may be panicking a little bit, thinking there's that pass rush coming and wants to get rid of it early.
Well, I think it's a legitimate panic when you're playing the Big Reds.
Right.
They can get in there. He's showing good boys, though. Still the emotions running high. It's still 0-0. Might as well be the first quarter. Every play could be the play that gets your team on the board. I think until the first couple scores are in, you're going to see a little bit of jittery for both sides.
2nd down and 10 now. 7:14 to go. First half. Give up the middle this time to Trask. Not much at all. He lost yards. Beautiful tackle, Roger Lefevre. Yep, I got the name right this time.
Yeah, I was. They told me his mother told me what it was a few weeks ago. I came in here and I panicked and I said the wrong pronunciation. We got it right this time, though, Big Dave.
Well, one of the members of the coaching staff here for the Big Reds trying to get these fans motivated, and they are. Hawley the outside again, overthrows intended receiver Jeff Keith. And if there's one thing we saw a lot of on that series in this drive, Tom, Nate Hawley may be panicking, throwing too early, and overthrowing the intended receivers.
Well, I think he could be. He knows he's got to get points on the board. He knows he's got not an easy task for the rest of the game against this defense. And he could be a little bit nervous. He's trying to make something happen. He's trying to force an issue to happen. He just has to settle down and pass like we've seen him pass in the last couple games.
Aaron Crone to punt this one for the Huskies from about the 33, and that's blocked again. Great special teams. Big Reds jump on the football at the 40, 35, 30. Look out, he might be going 15, 10, 5. Good touchdown, Big Reds. Did he get in? Down at the 1. I don't believe it. Great job. The Big Reds performing brilliantly tonight, Tom, on special teams.
Well, I tell you what, the Huskies have to figure a way to stop these guys. You can't have this many block kicks. You can't have this many turnovers and expect to win the ball game. Now you've got the problem of the Big Reds being on such an emotional high, and now they're on the 1-yard line. This is a huge game-breaking play. At the end of the game, when we look back, this could be the reason why the Big Reds get the win.
And I'm very, very impressed with how the Big Reds have come out in this game, Tom. I never say die attitude, push their back against the wall. They're like 1-4, 1-5. They're coming with a very aggressive nature tonight that is unparalleled from what we've seen of this team in previous weeks.
Well, we talked about it earlier. It's a case of this being a neighborhood rivalry. This is a different type of game. And now that they know that they're a good team, now that they know that they can play this Husky team, that could spell trouble for Northern.
And it is spelling trouble for Northern, no doubt about it. That ball marked on just the 1-yard line.
I think it was 43 on the Sam German for the Northern Huskies. That guy's got some wheels. He really he saved that touchdown.
And the way this game is going, it really shows you that football is not necessarily a two-aspect game. It's a three. Special teams has to be included in that, and Big Reds are proving that fact.
Well, I think a lot of people may have written off the Big Reds, and this is why you play the games.
First and goal from the Big Reds from the 1. They give up the middle, and that's going to be close. They think they have it. They do. Touchdown, Big Reds.
That's a huge play, Big D.
I believe number 4 punched it in. John Skilba, Big Red 6. Huskies nothing. And this is basically the Big Red season. And if they can win this game, their season all of a sudden looks good.
Well, you know, this is their playoff game.
Right, right.
This is their go on past your season. You win this game, you can accept the losses that you have.
I'm Casey Kuchera at half. I don't know if I'm not yelling, you know, my butt off at the Huskies, because they have played a turnover, you know, given game here. The extra point try, number 10, Jeff Miles.
It's actually blocked.
Ball more or less kicked into the line, I think. But nothing to worry about. 6 points, they're up in a game where I didn't think this was going to be the case at all.
I think a lot of people wrote off the Big Reds against the Huskies here today. I think the Big Reds guys on the team, they knew that. They knew that they had to come out, and they want to prove everybody wrong, and they're doing so.
And I honestly think that this game, the way it's been dictated, the way the tempo is going, this is shaping up to be the Big Reds game to win or lose.
Yeah.
And I know right now the Big Reds are going to come out in the second half with the same intensity. It's up to Northern to match it because, you know, I'm not to pick on them, but they look dead with intensity right now.
Well, the Big Reds have turned it around. I think coming into this game, the Huskies really thought they were going to be able to come down this field, run all over they want, pass wherever they want, get some points.
Right.
Now they're on the other side of that swing. The Huskies are now down by 6. They've got something to prove now. The Big Reds are on an emotional high. This is going to be a tough climb for the Port Huron Northern Huskies.
So 6 minutes, 23 seconds here to go in the second quarter. And basically the first half, the tomahawk chop, and you're doing it, so you're getting involved nicely.
I am.
It's kind of hard. We're on the Big Red side here. Over there is the Northern Husky side, and you never know what they're cheering because we can barely, hear them. But the Big Red fans, they're abundant. They've come out tonight and just had a ball, and their team up 6.
Well, I think for the first time this season, they may be having a little fun.
MacArthur going to take this kickoff now from the 11. He's got some room to motor. Cuts upfield nicely. He got more out of that they could certainly ask for as he's down to 29, and that's where the Huskies will begin this drive.
Well, good cuts. You got a couple of good moves. Get those extra yards. Good extra effort.
And you can always dictate how a lot of these returners and running backs are by the way they cut up field. And that was a nice job there.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can tell this guy's got running back experience.
So first and 10 from the 37. Ball they give to Trask. Lots of yards straight up the middle. Fights down to the 42. Nicely done. Troy Payard on the tackle for the Big Reds. I tell you, that play for Trask has been there quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, he's getting 5-6 yards every time he touches the ball on that one, which is hard to believe because, but I think that comes from the Big Reds' defensive line being so penetrating that a lot of times they'll run deeper than the ball is.
So high formation, and no, they backed up. 3 wide out set now for Northern. They have a man in motion. Ollie they give once again, I believe, to Trask. Not much there, straight up the middle. We have a flag on the play. We'll see what it is. The coaching staff here for the Big Reds pointing to the crowd saying, "You're the ticket."
But it's hard to even hear ourselves think up here at some points.
And the coaching staff really getting into this for the Big Reds. And, you know, it's not just the players. This whole, I guess you could say, faculty is really showing the emotion of tonight's game. It's almost too bad they don't play Port Huron Northern every week, Tom.
Well, if it means playing like they are, you're right. The coaching staff has really gotten the crowd into this. The players can hear them. The players are getting into it.
Look at it. They're getting into it again.
We've actually closed the window so we can hear.
Yeah. Holly off a fake, back to pass, deep pocket, outside to Keith. Met right there, hard by Payer. He went nowhere at the 48. Great job.
Well, I tell you what, he read that play perfectly. A screen. That's just, tell you what, that's good research that they've done, scouting, knowing how to read that play. It's a tough play if you can get it, but it can be read, and he did it perfectly and really stuck it, put the pads on him, stopped him for a 3-4 yard loss.
So with just under 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter, 6-0 Big Reds, doing a fine job defensively too, but that's what we could expect coming in. Great job.
Well, I can't say any more about the Big Red defense right now without sounding biased.
Right.
But I just think this is a totally different team than we've seen.
And they've done a very good job against a big offensive line for the Huskies.
A huge high school offensive line.
Jeff Keith straight up the middle, not much at all. They are jumping all over that run. Lefevre again. Lefevre again.
His mom catches me again. You're saying that wrong, Dave. I'm
Right.
I'm going to take more heat.
I feel like I'm taking heat for it, and I don't even know.
Well, that's how she told me how to remember the name was Lefevre and Heat. So
We have a timeout on the field. I believe Port Huron Northern has called it. So the timeout situation, if you're wondering, the Big Reds 1 left, the Northern Huskies with 2 left. So on the whole then, what's your assessment here, Tom, of the first half of play? I think a little shocked. We knew coming in, Port Huron High School had the good secondary, not really secondary, special teams I meant to say, and good solid defense, and that's been winning the game for them. Not much of a shocker from that aspect, I don't think.
no, not much of a shock, but they've even gone over the level that they have been defensively. For the Big Reds have. They're just playing a complete game. It's tough for a defense to win a game, but the Big Reds have apparently on defense decided that's exactly what they're going to do.
So with 4:18 to play here, first half, a very big driver for the Huskies, trying to get something going. 3 wideouts, 1 back. Look at that coach down there. I'll tell you something. He is getting this Big Red crowd fired up nicely. Man in motion, Holly to pass outside, just airs that one up. He jumped up and he caught it, and that great job there to the 20. Number 82, beautiful, Jim Palmatier bailed out the Huskies there, and all of a sudden, they operate from the 20. That play is the play of the first half.
Well, I tell you what, Big D, I've lived in this area all my life. I've played football in this area, and if there's one thing the Port Huron Northern Huskies have always been good at, is breaking a big play. I've seen them win several games last play of the game. They really know how to take that momentum away from you. But it just doesn't seem to be right now affecting the Big Red crowd, as they're still as loud as they were before.
So with just under 4 minutes to play now in the first half. Huskies on a 1st and 10 from there. The Big Red 20, actually. They have a man in motion. Trask takes it right up the middle. Not much there to the 19. Among tacklers, Josh Wager. Benny Esters as well, another 2-way player for the Big Reds on the tackle. So should the Huskies be able to punch this in? I mean, you could say it's been a case for them, the big plays to offset the turnovers. They've had 3 turnovers in this first half.
Well, like I said, I think they are a big play team.
Airing this one out and just overthrew intended receiver. I actually think that was a good throw. Nate Hawley close to his hand. Scott Jamieson couldn't bring it down.
It looked like that may even have been a fingertip almost catch. You got to give him credit just for getting there. But I think you're right, Biddy. I think the Huskies are a team that, if they're only down by 6, you're not safe. This is a team that can score points. They've got good passing. This game right now is coming down to the Big Red defense.
Well, Nate Hawley looking over there at Casey Kuchera for a lot of the time there. Couldn't quite understand the play they won. They have it now. We'll see what it there by Hawley. Throws it over the middle and should have been picked off. They'd like to have that one back.
Boy, dangerous pass across his body and across the field. 3 or 4 Big Red defenders.
And basically in an area where there wasn't, any Husky that I could see.
Maybe 5 yards away there from what I could see. Well, it's tough to throw against the grain there. He may have been safer just to run that ball around the corner.
This should be interesting here as well. A 36-yard field goal. Christofferson has the leg. So don't be surprised here with just over 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Snap placed down. Christofferson the kick. Good leg and no, not enough again. That's 2, Tom. By the looks of things, Christofferson, he had the uprights made. Just not enough on them. He had them split.
Well, it's real easy to kick a field goal when there's not 11 guys rushing at you.
Right.
When there is, obviously you said that this kid's got the range to get that field goal. There's a lot of pressure when those guys are coming in, and you tend to really kind of shorten up on your leg there. And I think that's what happened in both cases. The Big Reds field attempt and the Huskies field goal attempt both were a case of just trying to kick the ball before they really had to.
I don't want to give player of the game tonight to too many players, but I tell you, the way it's going right now, I think you could give it maybe to the Big Red special teams.
Yeah, if we're going to go with the first half players of the game, it's got to be the Big Red special teams.
So 2 minutes 40 now. Second down and about 13 yards, but I think if you're the Big Reds, you're happy with a 6-0 lead going into the half here because it's Big Red football.
Yeah,
scoreboard.
Yeah, it's hard-nosed, smash-mouth football is what the Big Reds like to play. They want to keep this ball out of the hands of the Big Reds, or the Huskies, excuse me.
To give to the outside, we might have movement at the line, and Payer,
yeah.
And they are going to flag him, yes. So the Duke, among other things, a guy who can draw some flags, I guess.
Well, I tell you what, we've said this in the past. The Big Reds sometimes maybe getting too emotional.
Oh, they are so fired up today on the whole.
But to take an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at this point on the field where you are, it's a mistake. You're only up by 6, and this Husky team can't put points up on the board. A turnover here is devastating for the Big Reds if they turn it over.
There was a false start offense, but a major penalty against the Big Reds as well. That one will be accepted, obviously, for 15 yards. That's going to push them back, to the 1?
It should be half the distance. So it should be around the 6-yard line.
Oh, okay, right. Looks to be marked about the 7-yard line for the Big Reds. So they really do have a long way to go. I would just expect running this one out.
Yeah, well, why not? It's been successful pretty much all game. They've gotten decent yardage on it.
Jacob Brown to give to a very dependable back. Why not? I'd give it to him down there. Benny Ester's gain of about 2 yards to the 11. It's so hard to tell from where we are here. Looking to our far, far left, but where exactly they are, it looks to be just shy of the 10 now. And I believe Porter and Northern has called a timeout in the field. So with that timeout, 6-0, Big Reds lead. Of course, we have just under 2 minutes to go here in the first half of play. And our assessments, before the game are, some things we have to say and some keys to this game, basically. Northern's defense likes the blitz, but that's not been the real factor in this game. As mentioned, we're sounding like a broken record, but the Big Reds have come out fired up. All aspects of the game, I believe they've won on intensity, Tom.
I do too. I think this was going to be an emotion-packed game from the get-go. Whoever got more of the momentum on their side, which is right now the Big Reds, is going to have a better chance of winning this game.
So I think that's third down. Not much there at all. Trying to run down that clock. Without a doubt, they've got up on here. Fourth down, and it looks like an eternity. About 20 yards plus.
Well, this is where that unsportsmanlike conduct kills you.
Right.
A minute 30 seconds to go. You're punting. They're going to have good field position. The kicker they have can still put points up on the board. And with the big play offense that the Husky has, you could even look at 6.
Destin Thomas. Fine punt to the 43. MacArthur going to take this one. Nice block on the blind side, down to the 29. Head coach of Port Huron Big Reds, Ed Kendall, is furious over there, thanks to maybe a clip.
It's hard to say. I mean, everybody's so excited and pumped up that he could just be saying great play with the way these guys have been jumping around on that sideline.
Oh, I don't think so. That was looked to be a blindside hit to me, but, you know, very close. It's a hard call to make that one because it's so crucial.
Yeah.
A minute and 13 to go here. First half of play. They're going to mark this ball at the 30 where the Huskies will take over. Hawley drops back, throws this one outside, and just overthrew intended receiver Scott Jamieson again. I tell you, if Jamieson comes up with half the ones that's been overthrown today, he's having an all-star game.
They just seem to be 2 steps off their game, the Huskies are right now. I'm sure that adjustments will be made at halftime.
So second down and 10 from the 30 once again. 4 wide out offense. They give it to Trask. Hits the hole pretty good, but not much after that to about the 26. Brings up third and about 6, maybe 7. Do you set up for the field goal here with Christopherson's leg, or do you maybe think, let's go for the end zone?
You know, I might even let him kick, just to let him get his aim back. Don't let that first one shake you.
Hawley again, great coverage. Matt Fowler on the side there. He was in front of him where you want to be as a cornerback and knocked that ball down nicely.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Big Reds have been doing it all game.
Right.
Defensive coverage is the best I've seen all year from these guys. They're sticking right on those receivers. They're not getting them anything to work with. The catches that the Huskies have made have been just excellent grabs.
Evidence to you that maybe Big Reds had a strong practice week because they really do look sharp.
Well, you got to imagine that this week of practice, you've said it before, this is the game they're playing for all year.
Christopherson from 43 yards out. Goodness, they have faith in this little guy. 40 seconds to play first half from 43 yards out. Look at that leg. Just missed it left, but I'll tell you something.
Had good distance. He had another 5-6 yards on that distance.
It's almost if he gets better, the farther you take it back.
But I think that's a good call for the Huskies to make, showing him, we've got the faith in you that you can kick it. He's obviously got the leg. It looked to me like there may have been a bad placement with the ball.
Right.
Still, 5-6 yards of leg left.
And great job by the holder there, too.
Yeah, to keep it. It was just, the snap and the hole just didn't come together the way they wanted it to.
And I don't know if you picked that up, folks, but the holder there with one hand basically held that ball because, you know, they were coming at him with a bad snap.
Well, field goal and extra points, it's all a rhythm thing. They practice the snap, the hold, the kick. It's a rhythm thing. It's a timing thing. Anything that throws that off can affect you. But you got to give the guy credit for still putting it 40, probably 8 yards. He missed wide left, but still a huge kick. This kid might be good from 50, Big D.
I've seen him do it before in practice, like before the games when they warm up. That is the end of the first half of play with the score, the Big Red 6. And the Port Huron Northern Huskies very unhappy with the big goose egg. Come on, real quick, your assessment of the first half of play. Very shocking to me that it's so low scoring. But the Big Reds very, very fired up.
2 words, Big D, special teams.
Right.
You can't say anything more about it. The Big Reds have done perfectly. They've made the turnovers. By all rights, the Big Reds should be up probably by 21 points just with the turnovers alone. I look for the Huskies to come back hard to get the passing going. They're going to go in the locker room. They're going to get their little talking to. They're a team that can put up big points. The Big Reds are going to have to stiffen down their defense even more, play with emotion. And I look for the second half just to be a hard-hitting, smash-mouth football game, a game that we've all expected to see here.
Okay, so on that note, that's going to end the first half of play with, once again, the score. The Big Red 6 and the Port Huron Northern Huskies, nothing. This is PHS Channel 6. We'll see you the second half, folks. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium, PHHS Channel 6, your home of high school boys football action. The first half, very, very unexpected, I guess you could best say. The Port Huron Big Reds, a 6-0 lead on the Port Huron Northern Huskies, but there is a whole half to play, so we won't jump the gun just yet. 24 minutes left of football. As mentioned, this is Channel 6, CPHS, boys football action. I'm Derek Work, the Big D, along with Tom Hyge, the Hyge man. He is downstairs. There's some technical difficulties we're trying to work out here. I will run the show until he gets back. Keith Christopherson to kick this one off, and we are once again underway with the second half. Taken John Skilba. A reverse there to Payerk, I believe it is. Big hole, keeps going. Look out down the sideline. 40, 45, 50, 45. Christopherson makes the tackle. Great job by him, but the Big Reds come out huge down the 35-yard line. Outstanding run there. That's Matt Prevost actually on the reverse. Now, John Skilba originally caught that ball back at the 5 and a reverse about the 10. Outstanding play by the Big Reds, and there's the big key. We're going to talk about that as soon as the Hyge man gets back in here. The special teams of the Big Reds have been so phenomenal this game. And Thomas, you put your headset back on now. Again, a big special teams play, and the Big Reds not losing any momentum from the half, and that was the big key for them. The big plays in the first half, special teams.
Well, that was exactly what they had to do, Big D. I didn't see the play. I was down there making sure our headsets were on.
Oh, they heard me before that.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, good. Talking about 5 minutes for nothing. But anyway, yeah, it's good now, eh? I can hear you crystal clear.
Yep,
So
I'm good too.
everything worked out. Good to know. 2nd and 6, and the scoreboard's back to normal here. That's nice. In the first quarter of play, the scoreboard kind of conked out here. We weren't sure what was going to happen exactly, but Benny Ester's around the end gain of 2 there. So brings that 3rd down. Anyways, Tom, some keys to winning, and basically the reasons why the Big Reds are winning. We said the special team's huge, but even to start this half, I mean, I don't know if you saw it going downstairs.
No,
You missed it. A handoff here at or a reverse actually on the return, and Prevost brought it down here to the 35-yard line. Big play to begin the half.
Well, it's exactly what they have to do. They have to keep the momentum from the first half to now. If they can do that, if they can punch one in here, that gives the Huskies a lot of problems for the second half. Because not only are you playing a huge, tough defensive team from the Big Reds, you've got to take your offense, which really hasn't done much today, down the field at least twice to get this game over with.
4th and 3 from the 26-yard line. Joe Talmadge, I believe, an injured, or not really an injured reserve, but a reserve nonetheless, jumping around trying to get this Big Red crowd motivated. And they own the lead just as much as their team does, the way they've cheered them on today. Pitch back to the outside to Payerk. Nothing doing at all, but we have a face mask penalty, I think, folks. That's what the Big Red fans are cheering. I believe we might have it on the Duke, too. We'll see.
That's exactly what it is, Big D.
It is a face mask.
And you wait for this. I mean, penalties are huge in the game. The Big Reds have caused a lot of problems for themselves this year with penalties. And finally, they get one to go their way. 4th and 4 that was. They didn't get it, but they got that face mask call, which means it's the first down and 15 yards down the field.
And, of course, with the momentum that the Big Reds had coming out in this half, a penalty like that, that's huge, because that's 15 more yards. That puts them, inside the 20. I tell you, look out.
Well, I think more than that, let's say the offense does stall. They've got a kicker that's well within range now, and now you're down by at least 2 scores if you're the Huskies if they convert that extra field goal.
9 minutes, 43 ticks left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Just started. The second half did. Get to Benny Esther straight up the middle, gain of about 4 yards, but there's a flag thrown in the backfield of the Big Reds. Likely to be against them. As we see the referee there and talking to one Husky anyway. That's going to be against the Big Reds, or else he wouldn't be talking to a Husky. Is that illegal procedure, I think?
You know what? I'm not real sure what that calls. I didn't see him call it. Yeah, it is a legal procedure. The Big D nails it again.
Yeah, so that's what a 5-yard loss there. So
yeah, and again, that's going to hurt your momentum a little bit. They still have. I mean, it's real important for the Big Reds to put this ball in the end zone. They don't want to take any momentum away from themselves. And if the Huskies even stop the Big Reds at this point without scoring, that even changes the game chemistry a little bit.
So first and 15 now with the penalty from the 23. Esters punches up to the 20. Among tacklers, Ian Johnson for Port Huron Northern. We've said his name a lot, a 6'1", 170-pound junior. Listed as a defensive back, but the way he's inside the tackles, I wouldn't doubt he's a linebacker.
Well, you never know what could happen. He probably is playing a lot inside. With a guy with that size and that good of a player, against a running team like Port Huron Big Reds, you got to get all your size in the middle just to stop this running attack.
Yeah, he's lined up on the line, so, you know. Jacob Brown, outside intended pass there. Intended receiver number 80, Josh Wager, dropped it.
And he just threw a bullet from about 6 yards there. That's a tough ball to catch no matter who you are.
So that brings up third down 11. Basically a game, too, where the Big Reds have capitalized on many Northern mistakes. I think, 4 turnovers?
Yeah, well, I think more than that, I think they've created a lot of those mistakes for the Huskies.
Right.
They've really done well on special teams, outstanding, in fact, on special teams. At least 3 blocked punts, or 2 blocked punts, and a couple fumbles. They're creating their scoring opportunities on the defense.
Benny Esters back to the original line of scrimmage right there, which looks to be about the 18, 19-yard line. So that's going to bring up fourth down here. And they will go for it again. No field goal. Well, no, they're not. They're going for the field goal. So this one looks to be, about 36 yards. A 36-yard try. Placed down nicely. The kick is up. And no, that missed. Yes.
Again, short.
He had the distance. Again, similar to what we saw with Christofferson first half, Tom, but just short.
Well, they've got faith in both kickers on both sides of the team. I don't think there's been anything less than a 20-yard field goal today. Attempt, anyway.
Good leg by Jeff Miles. And they look like good balls in the air, too. They don't look like they're, falling way short.
Yeah, well, again, we've got a bad vantage point here, but
right.
But all the kickers on both sides of it, it's looked real strong. It's just falling a little shorter to the left or the right.
So first and 10 now from the 20. Low static. Outside, nice carry by Nate Hawley as he cuts back up the field to about the 25-yard line.
You see a quarterback come around the corner like that, not slide or go out of bounds. That's a sign of an offensive team and a quarterback that really wants to get some points on the board every yard counts.
So 7:35 to go here, third quarter of play. Second and 4 now from their 21 is where they're blocked. There's like 21 to 25 there. And is that, I believe that's Chuck Trabasker slipping the bell, 26. That's going to bring up third down and about 4 more. I tell you, we get some good headphones there for a while. Now this has got to be over. I can't even hear myself.
I know. I can't either.
5 from the 25. Hawley back to pass. Outside, lobs this up. He's got a chance at it, and great defensive play, I'll tell you. It doesn't get any better than that for the Big Reds. Brian Sherrill, who went up to get that. Great job.
And I tell you what, the Huskies are a big play offense. When you're playing tight defense like the Big Reds are right now, that takes away your big play offense. That was just a great play by the defensive back, exactly the right position, and took that ball away from him.
Outstanding defense as it's punt down now. Matt Fowler back to return this one about his own 42 is what looks at things. And Aaron Crone, a bullet punt, going to be picked up with the bounce from the 36-yard line to the outside. Gets to about the 44, does Matt Fowler. So that's where the Big Reds will start. You really got to credit their defense tonight, too. I tell you, holding again.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I think that the defense really affected even the Huskies punting game on that one. You could tell he really just wanted to get that ball and kick it as fast as he could. Didn't get really the punt he wanted. And when your defense starts to affect the other parts of your opponent's game, that's when you really have the edge on them.
I believe that's the case here, definitely. As you see some of the crowd members over there on the other side, Northern.
Well, they're taking Northern out of their game plan, and they've pretty much, as far as right now, have taken the whole Northern fan base out of the game.
Yeah, this is how the Big Reds are going to beat you. This is their game, without a doubt, the way the tempo is going at this point. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I do agree. I think when you're a team like the Big Reds and you play a specific football game, you want to keep it that in your game plan the whole game. If you're going to run it and throw it down their throat, that's what you have to do. And it's exactly what they're doing, and it's working.
2 wideouts, 1 back set. Brown and overthrows Payerk. They're saying that's an incomplete pass. Smart play by the Huskies to go after that, though, in case, you know, threw it behind him.
Well, it's a heads-up play. I think anytime it's close to a lateral pass like that, even if the whistle blows, you got to dive on it. You got to go for it, just in case.
So that brings up 3rd and 9 from the 45. A lot of fans here tonight, as mentioned. Big Reds coming in and out. Some Big Red fans here of the, I guess, runways, hallways. And they're directly under us. As Jacob Brown outside, caught Jermaine Miller. Nice job down the 40-yard line. First down, Big Reds. We can't say it enough, Tom. This is a completely different football team tonight.
Right. You're right. We've seen probably 3-4 of their games. We've never seen this Big Red team come up with this much emotion, this much just well-done plays, really following their game plan. You're right. This is just a completely different Big Red team that if they had played like this in the weeks past, they wouldn't have the record they'd have right now.
And do you think the Huskies are looking over across the field shocked right now?
Yeah, I think they are. They're wondering who they're playing. I'm sure this isn't the team that they expected to play.
Number 48, Troy Payerk around the outside. Yeah, not much there. But we have a flag on the play. We'll see what this is all about. Our big fella from the truck, E.J. Shea, is up here. Was there static in the sound, or is it just us? Oh, okay. But were you hearing static from us, or? Oh, through the thing. Oh, okay. That's. Anyways, technical difficulty solved. Big thumbs up to E.J. Shea. Thanks a lot for coming up here and fixing it. That's all it was. Let's see, we're getting static now. First and 22 from the 48-yard line. Give the Payer to the outside. Fighting hard for yards down the 49-yard line. Nothing fancy, Tom. Big Reds once again sticking to their original game plan. Just run that ball right up the middle. And even in that case, so brings up second down and 17 now from the 50. High formation, 1 back, far side. Jacob Brown give to Benny Esters up the middle, gain of 2 yards there to the 48. So 3rd down and 17. If you're wondering who the Hige fan is all of a sudden come up to, we have some static difficulties here, some technical problems, so if we can see to that. But anyways, 3rd and 18 is where they mark this ball from the 48-yard line of the Huskies, and the Big Reds will start this 3rd down possession there. Jermaine Miller once again checks in. He's the one who earlier cashed in on a big 3rd down play. Can they do it again? He's on the near side, 1 wide out far side, and 1 back. Jacob Brown back to pass. Late pressure and intercepted right there. That's the play they're looking for. Big time interception right there. 32. John Coleman. Let's give him a 1 back. Nice job. Outside down to the 40. Ball come loose, but that's going to be the ground causing that one. Great catch, number 82 for the Huskies. Jim Palmatier there. So 2 wideouts near side, 2 back set. Fake handoffs. He's going to throw to the outside. Deep. He jumped up. Beautiful catch at the 15. Nice job, Huskies, and they are really moving the ball right now on the catch, or on the pass, sorry. Scott Jamieson. They've intended for him all game. Intended receiver 16 caught it. So 1st and 10 now from the 15. Really moving this ball well are the Huskies. They do a reverse. To the outside, I believe this is Palmatier. Nice job. They didn't get fooled at all. The Big Reds had that one read like a book. Great tackle, number 13, Ryan Sherrill. And Ryan Sherrill has really stepped up tonight and played a great game, I think. We've said his name a few times, made some great plays defensively, and right there, a nice tackle on the reverse. The give around the end to Jeff Keith. No, that was straight up the middle, my mistake. Chuck Trask. And not much there. I think that play whistled dead as it started. Third down and 9 now from the 14-yard line. 2 wide, 2 back set. Again, grenade ball as he drops back. With set, he's going to throw this one and overthrows Scott Jamieson again. How many times has he been overthrown tonight? Right. So Christofferson's going to come in now for yet another try. He's missed 3, but let's face it, folks, they have not been the easiest of field goals. I think 30 yards out would be a short one for him the way this game's going. Looks like a 36-yarder from where this one's marked. Actually, make that 31-yarder. Nice snap. Placed down. Good leg, and does he have this one? He has it. So Christofferson finally gets the Huskies on the board. I wasn't sure at first, but nice kick, and he had the distance again.
Actually, another 10 yards of distance, it looked like from here. Spot play. I had faith in this. If I'm the coach of Northern, I have faith in my kicker. This guy can go 46 if need be.
So Big Reds cut that lead in half. It's now 6-3 with just 2 minutes, 14 seconds to play, third quarter. And on the break, we'll pause for a minute of station identification. This is CPHS Channel 6, your home of so many high school boys and girls football sports, from tennis to soccer to, I don't know, bowling, darts. Well, I don't know about going that far, but they have baseball, softball, tennis, track, all kinds of coverage. And, yep. Great job to the big fella in the truck, E.J. Shea, as well as Shelly Sinek and Jeff Casson, 3 of the regulars at Channel 6, for making this production possible. As do I. When there's not so much static blowing in my ear, I might add. Just over 2 hours now, the time that this game has been played for, as the kickoff now. That'll be taken by John Skilba there at the 4-yard line. And they give the reverse again, Payer, but they're not going to buy that twice. He gets to the 15. And the Big Reds have a long way to go this time. And they'll start at the 15-yard line. I formation. The give to Payerk, not much, maybe a yard, maybe 2. Many tacklers for the Huskies brought him down. Bottom of the pile, number 78, Dave Taggart among tacklers. Taggart, a 6-foot, 170-pound defensive lineman and a senior. Both these teams. A little excursion. I took a trip down there to, see what was up. Apparently, we've got to apologize, but first, Trask around the end. He's going to score, folks. Touchdown, Port Huron, Northern Huskies. I'm glad I got back for that one. Sweet run from Trask. It's been there all day. Huskies finally take the lead. And as I was getting that here, goes on, you got to live with it, but the last 5 minutes, major happened, thank heavens. I guess Christopher. So the high scoring of the Huskies been brought to a halt this game by the Big Reds. The big question now, do they have enough against this tough Husky defense to prove that this is still their game, as they've proven for, I'd say, most of this game? We'll see if they can indeed do that. There was a penalty assessed, I believe, on that extra point try. That's a 15-yarder, so maybe some unnecessary roughness, unsportsmanlike. We didn't really pick it up, did we?
I didn't realize it until you said that.
But it was against the Big Reds, so nonetheless, the Huskies going to kick this one off from the Big Red 45. More than likely to get great field position. And they're going to try the onside kick, and why the heck not? Christopherson. And that ball, did that ball go 10 yards, I believe?
I don't think it did.
Oh, it didn't.
We got a pretty good shot in here.
That was very, very close. They flagged it about the 36. You know what, Tom? I believe they were 1 yard away from making that a successful onside kick.
I think they were. That was real close. And I guess what the heck at that point, you've got good field position already.
Right.
Kick the onside kick and maybe get it back. In this case, it maybe backfired on them. But
And the way, the Huskies have really been holding the Big Reds, especially on the run, which is their, let's face it, bread and butter. Why not try it?
yeah, I think it's a good call. A dangerous play anytime you decide that onside.
So 11-17 ticks to play here in the game, basically, the fourth quarter. Good old Memorial Stadium has seen a doozy tonight, 9-6. Okay, yeah, that was a scoreboard error. I was going to say, because we didn't pick up that Christopherson extra point, so that's why. But yeah, he got it, so it is officially 10-6, the score. And we have some movement at the line. Play whistled dead.
To give you a thought of how loud it is here,
Right.
we can't even hear the whistles on the field.
Right. And we have the window closed now. Most of the time, of course, we have it open. And when it is open and, Big Reds are at home, or even in this game when Big Reds, Port Huron Northern, it's hard for us to hear. Let's not kid ourselves.
Easily capacity crowd here at Memorial Stadium.
Troy Payer rumbling outside, nothing doing. Great defensive job there. I don't know, who do you want to call on this one? The Duke was there. Among others, number 12, Matt Wilson. Nice tackle out of bounds. Number 54 should get some mention as well. Mike Moeller. Nice job for the Huskies.
I think you start to see a more aggressive for your Northern team. Even up by points now. I think they're still going to play aggressive. I know this is a tough team to play.
So second down, 13 yards. Payerk lost 3 on that play. Great defense for the Huskies. Jacob Brown to pass, over the middle, caught. Fighting hard for yards. Good job to the 43. Was number 43, Tony Emig. Emig. There's another name problem again for us. So third down and 3 now from the 43. Big Reds trying to scamper back into this game, 10-6. They trail the Huskies in the Battle of Port Huron. It happens once a year, so it's very, very special. Yes. Jacob Brown, the give to Astor, straight up the middle. They had that clogged. Great job. And it's the Duke with the tackle. Nice job as well by number 12, Matt Wilson, who was right in the middle of that pile for the Huskies. Brings up 4th and 2, and we see a lot of the Big Reds going for it on 4th down. Do they not trust their kicking game, or do they think they can get the yards? And the punt, a pretty good one. Pushes MacArthur back. He calls for the fair catch. He drops the ball again, but he recovers it instead at the 15-yard line, where the Huskies will start this drive. So it's 10-6. Huskies still clinging to a 4-point lead. So first and 10, once again, 15-yard line, 9:23 ticks to go here in the game. 2 wideouts far side, 2 back set. You know what? Huskies called for an offside. One of their wideouts jumped far side. And there's another flag thrown, I think, down here. So don't know if the refs saw the same thing, but I guarantee you we have offside Huskies, first and foremost. Yep, and it doesn't, you know, if you can't win the biggest games, you can't really say as much of your team as, you know, similar to Nebraska in college football that beats up the Cream Puffs. I'd rather be playing a good schedule such as Michigan than beat the good teams, you know? Definitely. Chuck Trask tries to take it upfield. No, instead pushed back nicely. Roger Lefevre. I'm sorry, I apologize. I just cannot say that name. But you get my point. Great player. Yeah, but it's not you. I'm just lucky she can't find me. Lefevre, 6'2", 267-pound senior. They will miss him next year, boy. Hawley going deep off a fake handoff. He's got a man, and incomplete. A nice try. Basically, to readjust to the ball was number 82, Jim Palmatier. And just maybe slightly underthrown. Yes. So it's the punt now. As Matt Fowler ready to kick this, or actually return this one. Aaron Crone kicking it out of his own end zone. So good field position here for the Big Reds, almost guaranteed. Not the greatest of punts. That takes a nice Big Red bounce. Still rolling down to 29. That's a good chance for the Big Reds to capitalize, at least maybe get 3, Tom. So, 1st and 10 now from the 30. And 8 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the game. Big Reds, very important drive for them. Jacob Brown crossed the middle and almost picked off through the hands of the intended receiver there. And the intended receiver was Emig. Right. And basically what the Huskies, as far as we're concerned, were known for coming into this game was, a blitzing, attack the quarterback type of defense. They've been pretty solid coverage units, though, too, as well. Jacob Brown back to pass, 2nd and 10, fumble on the play, and the Huskies have the ball back. That one is just huge. Number 54, Mike Moeller jumps on it. One word for that is outstanding play by that defense. I'm sure Jacob Brown would like to have that one back, but and that right there, folks, could be the CPHS turning point of the game. Because you have a case where the Big Reds starting off the 29-yard line. That's great field position, obviously. Yep. So Huskies start now on the 49-yard line, 48 actually. And look at that, great job by Trask to carry 2 or 3 tacklers down to the 40 and a first down for the Huskies. Great job. So 1st and 10 from the 38. The Big Red defense, they've been on the field for a lot of this game. Early going, it was the case of the Huskies because of the turnovers, but Huskies have played a much better, more disciplined second half, haven't they?
Oh, I think so. I think their locker room at halftime wouldn't have been the place that I'd want to be. I don't think that the coaching staff probably felt that they were playing up to their potential. If they made some adjustments, they came out pretty tough.
7:48 ticks to go in the game. Nate Hawley back to pass, throws outside, far side, went up to get it, but a great job again. I'll tell you, that kid over there, Matt Fowler, all game long, he's been batting down passes, having great coverage, been in front of the wideout all day. Excellent, excellent job. Right. Oh, by a ton. What's the size difference there, Tom? Maybe you... So you're looking at almost a foot difference. And here's a kid, Fowler, who's playing with the heart of a 6'5" guy, and just plain stealing the show from, who is it? Scott Jamieson. Yeah, on the whole, Fowler's won that battle. Jamieson a few catches, but a lot of overthrown passes to Jamieson tonight. But a great one-on-one matchup, hasn't it?
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize until I actually looked at
right.
what the mismatch was, how different was it. I obviously was shorter, but I didn't realize.
Another case of another guy who, I guess in this situation, literally plays, a lot bigger than he is. Don't forget, though, folks, we get these rosters at the beginning of the year, and if Fowler's 5'4", I mean, these kids are growing, so it's getting to be, what, mid-season now? You never know.
Yeah, they could be.
Could have hopped another inch.
Sure.
I know what it's like to grow many an inch. As we get back to it, 2nd and 10 from the 39. Fake handoff, Hawley. Back to pass. Outside again, caught there at the 38. So there's that matchup again. This time Jamieson catches it. You can see maybe why they're going over there, picking on Fowler a little bit. But as mentioned, I like this. I like that kid.
I can see where it looked good on paper, but so
right.
far this game, it really hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
He hasn't let up any of the big passes that would really hurt the Big Reds.
Jamison, obviously, from what I see, their main go-to guy. The kicker, Keith Christofferson, is out there. The give to Trask, not much. Very interesting to me. I don't know what Jeff Keith's situation is, but we have not seen him, I don't believe, in the second half of play. And this is a guy who, you know, last week, 2 weeks ago, basically manhandled some teams on his own. He must be hurt.
Well, again, Big D, that's why you're the play-by-play. You notice things like that. I hadn't even noticed, but you're right. Yeah, obviously missed on his side of the ball.
And if he is in the game, I can't figure out why he's not getting the carries. As good as Chuck Trask, you know, not to take anything from him. Chuck Trask is likely to get my player of the game tonight.
Yeah.
But for what Jeff Keith did here 3 weeks ago, I'd be playing him unless he is hurt.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some reason why he's not in there.
Chuck Trask, of course, 6 foot, 180-pound senior. So you can understand senior leadership, why he's in there. And got some talent, too, doesn't he? Split some tackles tonight, went for a couple good gains. 3rd and 8 now from the 26, the Huskies operate. 2 wide near side, 1 far side in motion. Back to pass Hawley, looking this side, going deep, and I think he overthrew, or was that caught? Yes, it was. Fantastic catch there, number 82, Jim Palmatier. He's had a big game, and that's down to what? The 6? Outstanding, and a good throw.
Well, I tell you what, Big D, that's been the 4th time this game where he has either caught or attempted to catch a ball that was over his head. He was just basically turned around inside out. Still came up with the ball.
So it's 1st and goal now for the Huskies. Hawley operates a 2 wide, 2 back set again. Jeff Keith has checked into the game. And MacArthur, the other back. And the Port Huron Big Reds have called timeout. So with 5:50 to go here in the 4th quarter, this is probably the biggest, first down set right here that you could possibly get in this game.
Those Big Reds have played really hard this game. They've done really well. And a lot of times in a football game, when it comes down to it, the points that are won, the Big Reds have pulled 3 yards out. They've just got to simply stop the Huskies.
It was funny over here. I don't know what they do on the other side because, like I said, we're not over there. Some Husky fans before the game had a stuffed, or some Big Red fans, sorry, had a stuffed animal of the Huskies, giving it pile drivers and what have you. I kind of found that entertaining. I don't know if... I don't think I'd go over to the Husky side and do that, but...
Well, I don't think that.
Man in motion. 2 backs again. Fake to Keith. Hawley the outside. Cuts in. QB keeper. No, he's going to throw it instead. Batted down nicely in the end zone. Number 41, Matt Prevost, showing his leadership there. Great job. What's that?
I'm sorry, I quoted him. Quarterback Hawley?
Nate Hawley, yes.
Really did a great job of stringing that out.
And you know what? And not to take anything away from him, but I believe he keeps that cuts upfield. He's got 6.
Yeah, he might have.
2nd and goal from the 3. Hawley, fake option pitch, roll out. He's got some speed out there. Throws outside, caught Scott Jamison, end zone, touchdown Huskies.
Again, great coverage. Just that might have been a case of I'm just simply taller. That was. He still had great coverage. The guy's got a lot of heart, number 5. And it was just a matter of time before that was going to happen.
Well, we expected the Huskies to be, doing a little more of this throughout the night. But the first half belonged basically to the Big Reds. And is it safe to say, Tom, the second half belonged to, the Huskies? As we see Christofferson kick this extra point, could we say, it's been a game of halves?
Well, I think so. I think the stronger winning a game against
have a few Big Red fans leaving. A little disappointed, but on the whole, this is one of the better games I've seen maybe the best pure game I've seen the Big Reds play all year. And some of the coaching staff of the Big Reds really giving it to an official over there.